guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are sharing our ultimate guide to Amtrak Roomettes.
Alright guys, when you go to book an Amtrak Roomette, you need to know there are different kinds of Amtrak sleeper trains. There's Viewliner trains and there are also Superliner trains. Now the Viewliner trains are the trains that end up going to New York, and Superliners are all the other trains. So we're going to give you a tour. Within the Viewliners there's two very distinct types of roomettes, and in the Superliners there's basically only one type of roomette. So we're going to give you a tour of all three of those right now, and come back and explain the pros and cons of each of them and what you should be booking.
Let's start actually with the top. We usually start with my bed down below. I'm going to show you what Rob's penthouse is all about. So this is what it looks like here. So look at the space you've got here. So I mean, that's a little bit more than a hand's length there. So it's a, fairly tight space, and the same thing here. And also note the curve. This actually curves here. So it does kind of take away from the amount of space. And you've got, right now we're just storing the pillows up here because we don't need them, and the blankets. And then this mattress, this is actually the mattress for my bed downstairs. During the day it's stored up here. So this is what it's like up here. And I actually usually let Rob have this one, and he uses it up here because this mattress is not really that thick. As you can see, it's a little bit thicker on the updated ones like this one, but it's still not thick enough. So I usually give him this one because I don't really need it, because the seats down below are pretty thick. I'll show you those in just a minute. So this is what it looks like here. That's the length of it there. And then you've got this little netting here, which you could put some things in. And then there's also a little baggie here. And Rob usually will put his glasses in there, and snacks, water, and the same thing within here, so that he's got someplace to store his things. There's also coat hooks here, and then two more, one here and one there. And this is actually a closet right here next to me. I'm going to open that up. As you can see, there's a couple of hangers here, some hand towels and washcloths for the shower down below, and the regular towels are downstairs at the shower. And then there's an extra blanket in here as well. So that's pretty much the upstairs area. I'm going to close this, and then I'm going to show you my area here down below. Let's see if I can get that up there without making a ruckus. Here we go. Okay, got it up there. Yay. So, all right, so let's take a look at this area down below. Let's look at this first seat. So this is actually the seat that Rob is sitting in right now. He's facing away from the direction of travel, and you can see it's the new upholstered seats. Look at how nice these are. It's nice and cushiony, as you can see right here. Got a nice cushion. This is nice and cushioned. This is how come I give up my mattress for Rob, because this is nice cushion seat. It's very comfortable, actually. You could see that. Very comfortable to lay on, so I'm good without the mattress that they give me. This actually has space underneath. Rob's got his bag down here, and this is actually, the room attendant will make up the bed. We'll lift this while pushing that, slide it out, and it does that on both sides, and that's how it turns into the bed. You got an armrest here, just enough room for a small backpack. And then there's also a little trash can down here, which you'd be surprised how much trash you come up with in your room while you're in here. So that is that side. And then over here you've got your one outlet that's in the room. Why we highly recommend the adapter that we carry with us, so you could charge 5 things at once, and it is not an electrical hazard or fire hazard at all. So you can do that. We've got a link for that down in the description. Put that here. You can charge multiple things. This is the only outlet in this room. You've got the temperature control here. We've got it turned all the way to cooler. It does get a little bit cooler, but really it's not like gonna turn, your room into like a freezer or anything. You can always turn it to normal or turn it to warmer if you prefer. This is just a little light right here, a reading light. that you can use, so that's quite nice. Like I said, this is a really comfortable seat, nice and big, and plenty of space. You've got the curtain that you can pull across, and then they velcro in the middle. Now your air, the heat will sometimes come out of here during the winter time. You got a little, not really cup holder, but cup place here, and the armrest is basically still the same. You've got your table here, which is again the same, it just pulls out like normal. Got a couple things here. And now let's take a look at my seat. So on this side, this is what we've got, the same little you know, push and pull, and that's how the attendant makes the bed. And then here's the seat. It's quite comfortable. Again, it's the same seat as the other side. It's nice and pushy, as you can see, nice and plush. So it's really quite comfortable to lay on. I just put a sheet on it, and then I'm good to go down here once the attendant makes up the bed. This is actually the steps for going up to the bed upstairs. You put 1 foot here, 1 foot here, and then at night I just store this bag underneath here so that it's out of the way. That way in the nighttime, Rob doesn't have to worry about possibly stepping on the bag while he's coming down the steps. So at night he just comes down, 1 step here, 1 step here, and he's on the ground there. And that's usually where we keep our pair of flip-flops. So that's this side, and then let's take a look here real quick. Finish this up. We've got our ceiling light, turn it off, and then you can also turn the night light on. This is push to call the attendant. Music controls, this doesn't really work anymore. They used to, I think, way back in the day, pump music into the rooms. They don't anymore. And then this, of course, is that reading light again, and it does turn, so you can move it if you like, in any direction. Same thing here, curtain pulls shut if you want it, and you're good to go. There's a little cubby in here. I don't think people really use that for much. I've never stored anything in there before. And then there's a little mirror here to help you get ready in the morning. So that's pretty much the space. I'm gonna give you this tour here. Let's pop up here and take a look. So I'm gonna flip this around and we'll start out. So you've got your doors here, and you've got your curtains that protect you. You've got your little flip lock here that you move over, open, close, and you have a big overhead light switch here, another curtain here. Now, one of the big differences is that in a Viewliner roomette, you have a sink and a commode, and they are right here in the room. You can see the commode right here, and then the sink is right here. This is pretty neat, guys. It just pops right out, and you've got your sink right here in the room. Now, when the person is upstairs, Rob in this case, then this light, when the sink is down, you'll see the light turns red. So that signifies to the person, if he just looks down, he can see that this light is red, and not to put his feet on if it's dark and he can't see that the sink is down. So it's really nice to be able to have basically the bathroom right here in your room, and you've got a mirror right here. Hey, now up above, you'll also see, let's see if I can get up here, there we go. There's a luggage rack up here. We've got one bag up here, and then the bed is up here. We'll give you a tour of this upstairs area in a little bit when the room is done up. Now, some things to look at here is we are on a Viewliner, which means we have a lot more space, especially headroom. If you look at how high up that goes, this bed here actually pops down. Watch this. Comes all the way down to here. So Rob is actually going to have all that space. And later on, when he's back in here, he's going to get that tape measure out of his, and he's going to measure that and show you just how high that is. The other nice thing is he's got these windows here, so when the bed is down, he'll actually be able to open or close these curtains, and he'll be able to have a view if he wants it, or not have a view if he doesn't want it, or if he wants to just go up there and hang out. Now this seat is very similar and same size as it would be like in a Superliner, but this one is actually a little bit narrower because part of the commode is taking up the space here. And then we love this, being able to control the speaker volume for the announcements being made. You can turn that all the way up or all the way down if you want to hear it. And then you've got several different types of lights. You get a little bit smaller light, a reading light, which is here in the corner. You get this higher light right here. You can make it little, and then you've got your overhead light, which you can use this mirror light. There's buttons for everyone to control, so the person above can control there and the person below can control here, which is really great. And you've got the same thing on this side, except you've got the actual speaker on this side, as opposed to being able to control it from this side. You would just be able to you know, just hear it from this side. And you've got the same light controls here as well. What I do like here also is that you've got a thermostat control, and not just do you have a thermostat control, but you also have the air control here as well. So if you are cold, you can turn it all the way off. You can have it on low, on medium, or we've got it right now on high, because of course the sun is beating into the room and making it quite warm. You've got lots of different vents and another control down here. So this is for the person in the lower bunk, and you can turn the direction of this, of what it's facing. So if you want it to face you, and the same thing here, you can turn this if you want to face. The other great thing is if you've got something to hang up here, you've got this little kind of small closet rack, three hangers. You could probably get more if you want to put up there. So this is great, a great setup for the room. We've also got our own little trash bin as well, and our own little toilet paper right there. Now later on we'll give you a tour of what it looks like once it's all done up. So this is actually going to get pressed down, and this is going to get pulled out. So this is actually going to be the whole bed, and the mattress is actually upstairs right now. But we'll show you a little bit more later, bring you back, and we'll show you what this looks like when it's all done up after we come back from dinner. We had dinner, and we came back to the room and set it all up for night for you. So now we're going to give you a quickie rest of the tour of what it looks like when you have your roomette all set up for sleeping. So I'm in the downstairs bunk. If you've watched the channel before, you know I sleep on the bottom, and Rob usually sleeps on the top because he's pretty cool like that. So here's what it looks like. Well, right now we're just pulling out of Albany, but here's what it looks like, the bed. I'm sitting on this part here, and the commode is next to me there, but I'll be sleeping with my head that way because, well, we don't want to have any mishaps with the commode in the night. So this is what it looks like here. I folded down both seats, and then there's a mattress and a sheet, and then I also get a blanket with it. So Rob is actually going to head up. You can go ahead and head up. He's going to climb up the stairs here, which the commode serves as one step, and then here's the second step, and then he's going to go up, and he is going to give you a tour of his fabulous penthouse upstairs.
Okay, this is pretty luxurious up here, I have to say. And compared to a Superliner, there is tons of room. So let me show you what I'm looking at up here. I am sitting up fully in this bed, which I can't believe, because in a Superliner you cannot sit up like this. It's just impossible. You have to lay down the whole time. The other great thing about this is I do have windows to the outside, so window to the world. And these steps are actually a lot easier to come up and down than also the Superliner, which are a lot more narrow. A couple good things about this space up here I've noticed is you do have this luggage rack, which I've got my headphones sitting in there. I'm going to use those later. I have this little pouch right here with a lot of snacks in it. I'm going to put my phone, oh, there's nerds in there. I'm going to put my phone in there a little bit later. And then I do have my own air control here, which I love because we like to sleep at different temperatures. And one thing I've noticed about the bed though is that there is a little break point here where it goes from kind of narrow to wider. So I'm going to go ahead and measure these a little bit and see exactly how wide they are for you. So we got our tape measure here, and I'm going to give you a little tour of exactly how big this is up here. So the bed kind of differentiates. It's narrower here and then wider up here where you lay your head. So at the narrow end, that's 20 inches wide. And then at the wider end, it is all the way up to a whopping 26 inches wide. feet. And lengthways, it's about 6 feet long. So 26 inches by 6 feet, that's not too bad. The best part, like I said though, is the headroom. You can sit up here all night long if you want. And it is a full 36 inches, so it's 3 feet tall, which, I mean, on the Superliner, you got like 1.5 feet, 2 feet maybe. It's tight, and there's no window, so it's a little more claustrophobic. So I love that. Have my snacks, like I said. This this strap actually is good because it is kind of narrow down here. You could actually fall out of here without this, so make sure you hook this up. One tip that we had was it's kind of hard to hook up if the bed's all the way down, so raise the bed up, hook it in, and then lower the bed back down.
Okay guys, so let's start the tour. First of all, this is the seat I'm sitting in because I always sit facing the direction of travel. And note how wide this seat in is. So the other side is actually going to be a little bit narrower than this one. It's a couple inches narrower on that side than on this side. And then here you've got a nice big air vent, and you can always just turn that off if it's too cold for you. But this is really quite nice for when you're sleeping down here. I have always found it very helpful to have that vent right there. And over here you've got a reading light, which you can turn on and off here. And then you've got your area light there. And then this is to call your attendant. You push this button. And with this one here, this is for the PA announcement. So if you want to hear them in your room, then you would leave it, then you would press it so that it's pressed in. If you want the announcements off, you leave it out, like flush with the outside. And then right here, you've got a switch for the ceiling light, turn that on and off of the whole room, and then for a night light, which is a nice little light up above. Here you can kind of see what the thermostat in your room is set to. And actually down here, you've got this little kind of, you know, armrest. It's a large armrest, and I actually am setting my backpack there right now, but you have 2 outlets. And then you also have another vent here, and it's kind of like a car vent where you can move it this up and down and then side to side. So just like you would in a car, but here also, like in a car, you get to move this up and down. So you can shut it, kind of close it, or you can open it full blast or in the middle, whatever floats your boat, feels good to you. Okay, next up, we've got this hook here. They give you a couple hangers. You can hang jackets here or whatever you want to hang here. I'll leave this stuff here for Rob to give you a tour when he's in his upstairs penthouse, but I'll keep showing you some cool stuff down here. All right, so this side, so you're looking at about 2 inches difference between this seat and this seat. And the reason for that is this. So in a Viewliner 2, you are not going to have a commode, a toilet in the room with you. So in the Viewliner 2, normally you would have a toilet in here with you, but you do not have that here, which is nice because I can't ever decide if I like it or not. But the reason why that's nice is because you've got this space down here, storage space. So you can stick a bag down there, no problem. And then this is going to be the steps for Rob to get up to his bed. Now over here, you're going to find the sink. There are cups here, and then with this little switch, boop, you're going to open that up, and there is your sink. And you've got your faucets right there, and you can store your little soap right there, which is really nice. And you've got more outlets on this side, and then you've got your mirror light, which is this light up above that turns on. And then this red light is an indicator to Rob above. If the lights are off in the room and I have the sink open, this light will indicate to him that the sink is open so he doesn't put his foot in it. And so this sink, one thing you'll notice about it is it doesn't have a drain. So this sink, actually, the drain is, see this little spot here? It actually drains back and out through the drain. So when you're not using it, you just put it up here. They do give you a washcloth and a hand towel, and then there's regular towels in the shower, which we'll show you later. And you've got a little hook here to hang those, and then another mirror light, which Rob will have access to there. On this seat here, you do still have this nice vent here, which again, you can open and close, and you've got the area light and the reading lights, so that gives you plenty there. Now, what I want to show you here too, this is another thing I like about the Viewliner 2 is when you close this, so normally this is kind of soft, but there's like a hard stick, I guess I should say, or rod of some sort that's in here that keeps it firm. So when you close it, it actually, you know, sticks and stays firm instead of staying loose. So that's kind of nice that you have that as well. And Rob will show you his curtains up above. Now over here is our tray table. And this tray table is amazing. If I can avoid the camera, whoops. Is amazing. It's right here. And look at that. And this is nice and firm, so it's not going to dangle. You'll find sometimes on the Viewliner 1, it just kind of hangs there and it's just kind of a crazy mess. So that's that. And that's pretty much the downstairs area. There are some switches here also by the door. There's a ceiling light there and a night light control here. And then the door locks and unlocks right here. You open it and close it there, and you've got these nice curtains here. Again, it's got those kind of those hard little rods in there as well. So that is the downstairs. I'm gonna pass it up to Rob and he's gonna show you what it's like upstairs in the penthouse.
This Viewliner 2 is my absolute favorite room for being upstairs because there's a lot of features. First of all, this is much higher than a Superliner, so you're gonna have a lot of space up there, and it's really easy to get up there. You can see these steps right here. They're so big that there's no question what you're stepping on. In the middle of the night, if you're tired, you're not gonna miss these going up. So to get up there, all I need to do is, first of all, take this handle and pull it, and that's gonna allow the whole upper bed to come down. And that's in the sleeping position now. So this is how much room you're gonna have on the lower bunk, and then I'll have, I think, even more up on the upper bunk. Now all I gotta do is climb up the steps and go up to the bed. So as you can see, there is a lot of headroom up here, and it is really easy to get up here. It's the easiest one of all. And once you're up here, you want to take these little hooks and put them right up here. Whoops. Not like that though. Okay, got that in. And that is going to be your safety harness, which is right here. It does have a lot of slack to it, so it'll feel like it's not going to catch you, but it actually will catch you if you actually were to roll off. You wouldn't, but it's not like up like this, like a fence. So that's interesting. Now, up here we do have a huge area for storage. So I put both of my bags up here, my big backpack and my little bag, and if I need anything in the night, I can just use those. A lot of people put like a real suitcase up there. We don't do that. We usually check ours on the Viewliner because it is kind of hard. Even though there's a lot of space up there, it is kind of hard to get that all the way up here because it's kind of a tight angle to do it at. So on a Viewliner, we always check our bags. On a Superliner, we bring them with us and just leave them downstairs. So we also have a little pouch up here. That's for your glasses, or maybe you have medication or something like that. And then again, all of our controls are up here. I have a light, air, a fan, I have an attendant thing, and that's the button for the reading light. So the great thing about this is I am sitting straight up right now, and if you're in the middle, your head will bump a little, but on the side, my head is not touching the top of this. Now I am 5'9", so if you're like 6'4" or something like that, your head would definitely hit the top. But if you're under 5'9", you're not gonna have any problem. The bed also has an interesting shape up here. It's narrow on this end, and then you can see it kind of widens down here. So that's why I sleep on this end down here, because it is much wider and you just have a lot more room. One of the other great features about the Viewliner roomettes is the person on the top actually has their own windows, which I love. On the Superliner, no windows for the person on top. So this will be great because Allie usually goes to sleep before me. She'll close those, I'll leave these open, and I'll be able to see everything I want to see. So this is definitely my favorite roomette of all. There's 4 roomette types. This is the best one.
All right, guys, so you saw all three, the one Superliner roomette and then the two versions of the Viewliner roomettes that you can get. And they're very different, obviously, because of the sizing of the train. And included with your ticket, you will also get your meals included, whatever meals you're on the train for, breakfast, lunch, and or dinner. And you also get your drinks included, waters and sodas and juices. And you also get 2 pieces of checked luggage, 50 pounds or less, as well, included with your ticket. So,
all right, guys, let's talk about some of the pros and cons of these roomettes. And the first thing I want to talk about is the head space in the roomettes on the upper level when you're sleeping. Now, a big con of the Superliner is that there's not much room at all. That it is very tight up there, and you know, I sleep up there usually, and there's only about that much headspace once you're laying flat on your back to the top, and it gets very tight. So if you're both a little claustrophobic, that's not going to work. Now, conversely, a pro of both of the Viewliner roomettes is that there's tons of room up there for the person up top, and it's a much taller cabin in general, so you're really going to like that. And it's probably better for first-time riders if you're not sure if you're going to like that tight space.
yeah, not only that, on the Viewliner, you also get a window up there, which you don't get on the Superliner. So it feels even tighter because you have you're just looking at the wall, and in the Viewliner, at least you're looking out the window, so it has that feel of a little bit bigger too, right?
Yeah, I do really enjoy the window up in the Viewliner. Now, another real obvious pro-con is the toilet situation on the Viewliners. On the Viewliner 1, there is a toilet in the room, and it is right next to the lower bed. And the Viewliner 2, there is no toilet in the room. It's in the hallway. You'll use that one. So that's a big pro or a con, depending on how you look at it.
Yeah, I think it's highly contentious, this situation with the toilet in the room. There's so many things that could go wrong with that sitting right next to you in the seat. Or if you're laying down at night, imagine yourself also, you know, the person from upstairs come down to go to the bathroom while you're sleeping in the middle of the night. Like, there's a lot of things that can go wrong with having that option, but there's also the niceness of the convenience of it. So it's hard to kind of choose. Like I said, we have gone back and forth on if we like this option or not. But in the Superliner, that's not an option at all. There's no roomette that has a toilet in it like that. It would only be on your Viewliner trains.
Yeah, and if you're a single person traveling by yourself, solo rider, that's going to make your viewpoint a little bit different than if there's 2 of you in the room, because if you do have that room, there is no bathroom in the hallway, so all of your bathroom activities are going to be in the room. So you may be having the other person leave the room at times. Different things like that are things to consider. Now, another pro of the roomette is it is usually the cheapest room out there. And so that kind of brings us to one of the points that we have, which is that none of these rooms on the Amtrak sleeper cars are designed for 2 full-size adults to sleep on the bottom level. That just doesn't really work. But if you were to get 2 roomettes across the hall from each other, that is how people do it. And it can often be the same price as 1 bedroom.
Yeah, so the 2 rooms is a great idea because it does allow you to both sleep on the bottom bunk, especially if you're both claustrophobic, or if you have mobility issues and you don't want to have to climb up to that top bunk, then the 2 roomettes across from each other is definitely the best option.
Yeah, now I will say also with the Viewliner roomettes, you do not get to choose whether you get a roomette 1 or a roomette 2. It's just going to be assigned to you, and there's no way to know before you get to the train. So it's up to the mercy of what you get. So if you want the one with the toilet in the room, you may not get it. If you don't want it, you might get it. There's just no way to determine that and no way to pick.
Exactly. There's actually not even if you called, because they can't control it either. They have no idea, because the actual train cars get renamed at every single terminus station when they arrive. So if it's a certain number when it gets there, they could switch it with the other car. They rotate the numbers, so you never know it's literally impossible to know unless you work on that particular train on that day. You would not be able to know ahead of time what is going to happen with the train.
Yeah, so we think roomettes are probably the best option. That's the one we normally go with. We don't normally think it's worth it to upgrade to the bedroom because you're getting all the same things. You're getting all the meals, you're getting to sleep. It's just a little bit bigger room if you spend pretty much double the money to get a bedroom.
Yeah, I think that's the key, is that you do get all the same things as everybody else in the sleeper car. So there's no difference really to you. You're paying less, but you're getting all the same things. So I think that's a win-win.
Yeah, guys, we know you have questions about roomettes. If you do, please leave them in the comments of this video. We and others would like to help you answer them. And we hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and we will see you on the next video.